As we near the 2-mile mark left to get home, we are, of course, at a light that bottlenecks, which means every asshole in town gets in the lane that disappears. And it's not a merge lane either. This is a turn lane, so they're double dickwads. You know, if it was a merge lane, I'm okay with going to the end. That's what the lane's for. And in traffic, you might as well just go to the end, because if you don't, the next car will. And so this, though, turns into a turn lane. And oh, that was a good one. Expensive sports car who just edged his way into that spot. But these assholes will wait to the last second, like this C-word next to me. Y'all should be just turning at that light and then going to hell. Because you're that impatient and that selfish that you think that after passing all of these people waiting, that you deserve to be led into that spot. And please cuss me out when you try. Because, you know, one of these days, the 5 p.m. days, I may just hit your car so that you don't get home when you want. I do have a really funny story about dickheads in traffic and karma, which I as well don't believe in. I wish I'm an awesome person. I'm super nice, and I treat people with respect. And if it does exist, then that would make sense, because my life has been a positive experience for the most part. I was driving down this 3-lane road one day, and it was decent traffic, and there was this car weaving in and out of this traffic, just fitting itself into these small spaces. And then he got next to me, and he was going to proceed to cut me off very, very close as we approached a red light. And so instead of hitting the brakes, I just allowed myself to go a little faster than normal, and I was closing the gap, and I saw him put his signal on a temp, and I popped my horn. The drive-by horning, as my wife calls it. She thinks it's hilarious that I just, bum bum. Well, I did it to this guy, and he changed his mind. But as he approached the light, I was about to pass him, and he looked over at me as I went by, like, fuck you. And then his car disappeared. I kind of feel bad, and I don't. Because the reason his car disappeared is because it slammed into the one in front of him who was stopped at the light. Oh, gosh. It made for such a great story. And maybe that guy's not a dick anymore, but the way some people work, he's probably twice as big a dick now. He probably has cursed me to the end of earth, even though he was the one driving like a total asshole. So now I'm, about 1.5 miles from the house, and it's probably more. I'm not very good at this yet, this new house distances. But I'm probably 1 mile from when I turn down a 1-lane road, which thankfully 1-lane roads, even if there's traffic, you can't really get mad at each other on a 1-lane road. There's not enough time. You can't see ahead of them. People can't see behind you. If there's traffic, you just assume there's traffic. And you go one at a time, all in the same boat. Nobody's got to switch back and forth to get that extra 6 feet. No one has to cut each other off. You're all on the same way to the same place. It's a little less stressful. But we're coming up on that last bottleneck. And this is where you as well get a group of people who you won't call as much as a douchebags as the other group with the automatic turn lane. But this one is a right lane automatic turn lane. And I do need to tell you that 99% of the people who are in it know it's a turn lane. But since you're both going so slow, to not let these assholes in is probably an incredibly asshole move on your end. I think I'm going to take the right turn only lane, because the left lane is so blocked that I will go the long way home to avoid getting into that lane. Now, here's the catch. If a gap opens up, do I get in? I probably shouldn't, because that would be a totally dick move, and the gap opened up and I'm totally getting into it. Oh my gosh, bro, you gave me so much room to get over into that lane, and now everyone behind you thinks you're a dumbass for leaving me room to get in. Now, let's all decompress with what just happened, because I just called everyone who did that an asshole. I do want you to know I got in that right lane with the goal to turn right. I was going to take the long way home, but it opened up. I didn't cut anyone off. I had probably 50 feet that guy left, probably 30, to just get back into the left lane after I passed 50 cars. I don't know. I don't know who's the asshole and who's not. Is it that guy that's not thinking of the people behind him and staying close to the car in front of him in traffic? Or is it me, the opportunist, clearly, who had every intention to do the right thing and then hurt no one by getting back in the lane to get through? So now I'm on my road. Let's just say it's my road. I mean, I got to make a few more turns, but this is the last stretch. A one-lane road that's approaching a four-way stop, and the four-way stop ain't bad. There's only like 4 or 5 cars. This podcast may save my stress. It is 6 o'clock though, folks. You've been listening to me for 50 minutes exactly. If you got this far, which most of you won't. It's fine. I understand. Millennials and people like you can't deal possibly with the longer. And it's funny because I'm talking to the group. If you're still listening, you're not the group I'm talking about. So I don't know why I'm talking about this. It's stupid. Thank you for staying this long. I commend you. You clearly have an attention span that's above the age of 6 and can focus on something for a decent amount of time. And I love when my kids are like, I don't know how you guys sat through 3-hour movies. And you're like, you fucking idiot. You'll binge watch some stupid show on Netflix that's like 15, 20 hours long, and you're gonna call me out on a 3-hour movie like Lord of the Rings? Go screw hit you dummies. So, that was a light. That wasn't the 4-way stop. So the light wasn't bad. I'm through it. The next one is still a 4-way stop. The one we were at used to be, and it changed it to a light. And apparently it's working. I think that did a good job of moving traffic through without the constant foot on the pedal. You know, you stop at the light and then you go. So now we approach the 4-way, and okay, yeah, the 4-way is pretty lengthy. We got a good maybe 15 cars. Go really well. Look, when we get these driverless cars, folks, 4-way stops are just going to be cars passing each other. A computer can do that. A computer can move objects past them, you know, and they'll probably even have to dumb it down so we don't freak out every time we come to these lights. If there's even use for lights anymore, there won't be. Because, oh my God, we didn't hit. Until we get, you know, the trust that some people will never have for computers. Until we get the trust of these algorithms to not have cars hit each other. You know, and I do want to say, people say that driverless cars have gotten in accidents. I do want to defend it. I heard it defended by a person who designs them, and I know that's biased, but let me tell you how it was delivered. He said, look, when a human being gets into a car accident, they learn a lesson. Oh, I shouldn't have pulled out in front of that person. Oh, making a left here might not be the greatest idea. Oh, I was going way too fast and drinking. And one person learns a lesson, or maybe a few connected. When a driverless car gets into an accident, not only does that car learn, every single car made on the roads learned that mistake. And not only that, every car after it now knows not to do what that car did. That's the difference. Yes, there'll be some problems, but they'll fix them. Just like your microwave, just like your smart TV. It'll get fixed. And then it'll work so well, you'll have to find something else you don't like about it. Like, oh my gosh, my phone stopped charging in my automatic car. Or the speakers aren't working in my lounge that's on wheels now. And then we'll transfer into tracks. I don't know how long that'll take, but mass transit will become something probably socialized. Because who needs a great looking vehicle when everyone's now in the same one? You know, maybe you'll put little stickers on it like your phones. So you'll have a vehicle case instead of a car that you just snap on the outside, just like your phone case. Or I'm sure it'll be a programmable screen. Who knows in the fucking future? It could be anything. Where you can just broadcast on the outside what you want your car to look like. And you can buy skins like it's Rocket League. Love Rocket League. Greatest computer game. I'll talk about that another day. But I want to go back to what I just said to you guys. A human being makes a mistake. One of them learns. A human being learns. And then we might try and teach it to our kids. Yes? Are we on the same page? Do you guys see the crazy mindfuck of computers? Why would a computer need humans if it's always going to be remembered by all future computers? Now, I'm not one of them people that thinks that computers are going to end the world. What I'm saying is, though, is as we transition and become half human, half computer, which, by the way, folks, is inevitable pending some nuclear holocaust or we start over dinosaur asteroid type shit. If human beings are allowed to continue to progress, that was like a mixture of British and English. All of a sudden, I crossed the lake halfway. As we continue to progress, it will happen. You won't want your iPod to be on a wire. It'll just be something that's plugged into your ass. Who knows? Something behind your ear. And so, as we transfer, we will inevitably, the biological part of a human will become useless because there's no need to remember. Some people think the DNA, folks, the DNA is the first step into memory. And not necessarily human memory, but the memory of the existence of this place. Whether it be time, whether it be this area of the universe, whether it be natural to progress out of biological existence. And that's because once we get the ability to remember everything, which the internet is starting to do with cloud technology, there is no use for humans. Every lesson may have been learned. Every mistake may have been recorded. And the future of the data of the universe will be finite. We will never again need to remember anything. And if you don't think this is the case, my students think I'm fucking crazy when I have a slide up. And then when they're copying it, they don't just go, can I just take a picture of it with my camera? And don't get me wrong, there's a part of me that says, oh shit, we are behind. We're making them jump through hoops because we don't trust them to learn. And that's my conundrum. They have a good point. They have a good point. Why am I not just letting them take a picture of something that I'm making them copy? Just a copy. So folks, I leave you with that. What is the use of this type of education when the internet exists and the lessons that we need to learn are already at our fingertips? We just have to recognize them and find out and see it.